Hey guys. I know you guys are like, what the heck is she going on right now? She's still getting ready in this video, but it's a little chilly in my house. My shirt says I don't like morning people or mornings or people. Sometimes that is correct. Anyway, hi, how y'all doing? Jordean here. Welcome back to my channel. As you can see by the title, yeah, today's going to be a very interesting topic. Before we even get started, let me just say and make this very clear. I do not have HIV. I do not have AIDS. Never have. Never had a scare. Nothing of that nature. Where's my phone? Should probably put it on silent before I get started. But yeah, nothing of that nature. So yes, this is my HIV/AIDS story. However, it's not my personal story. It's just a story that affected me personally. Yeah. You guys will see. And I'm not laughing, like it's not funny, nothing like that. Like I'm laughing because I'm just trying to, you know, keep from crying in a sense. Not really crying, but I'll be fine. Anyway, so let me turn this off. Okay. So I'm about to go out and get ready for the gym. I'm about to go to the gym. I need to do a little bit of running around to, yeah, just some little running around, last minute like shopping things that I need to do. And you know, in the mornings I like to watch YouTube, just the most random videos. Sometimes I'm watching like The Price is Right, other times I'm watching like couples channels, other times I'm watching DIY videos. It's just like a bunch of random things. But anyway, to this morning I was watching one of my battle buddies. If you don't know what a battle buddy is, I was in the military, so I was in the army, and we called each other battles, you know. So I was watching one of my battles. Her channel name is Shika T. I'm gonna leave the video actually linked down below, so make sure you guys check that out because it was definitely a great video to watch, and it can help so many people out there who are battling with depression. But I was watching her video, and she was talking about depression and how, you know, basically her father was suffering from depression and he took his life when she was just 14 years old. And it made me think about my parents and how, you know, their lives were taken from me really short. And although it wasn't the same scenario, like at all, it had the same result, which was death. And this video is mostly about my mother, but I will just throw in there that my dad did pass away when I was, I think I was I 9 or 10? It was in 97, and I want to say it happened in September, so that means I had already turned 10 because my birthday's in July. But yes, my dad passed away when I was 10. He didn't die of natural causes. He was pretty much murdered. He worked as like a police officer, security guard, somewhere around those realms in the country in which he lived, and which was Guyana. And I guess wherever he was working at, some people decided to like rob the place, and they got into a scuffle. They like hit him over the head with like a pipe or 2x4 pole or something. He got in the head and he died, you know, from like a concussion or whatever the case may be. So that was my dad's story. My relationship with my father wasn't the same as my relationship with my mother, because I lived in America with my mother. I never lived with my father, to my knowledge. I did go visit some summers, but there's only like really like one summer for real that I can remember, and that's when I was like 8 or 9. I had this huge birthday party. That's like the only time I vividly remember being in his presence. But I know we spoke all the time. My mom will go back all the time. But yeah. So anyway, moving on from there. That's my dad's story. My mom's story. So my mother got remarried in 2000, the summer of 2000. I met her then husband, which is my stepfather. I met him in the summer of 2000 when they were getting married. Was it 2000 or it might have been 99? I can't remember if they were married for 2 years or 1 year. But I'm assuming, I think it was 99. I don't know. 99, 2000, one of those years. I was like, how old was I? I was like 11 maybe when they got married. 11 or 12, one of those ages. Anyway, yeah, so my mother got remarried to this guy, and he seems cool. Like, if you know Guyana and those countries in the Caribbean, like sometimes they're like third world countries where at that time, like my grandparents didn't have indoor plumbing, So bathrooms were outside. It was an outhouse. We took showers outside in little shed thingies. Like, there was no indoor plumbing. And coming from America, we just like, what? Like, what is this? You know what I mean? So my stepfather, he had a really nice house. I think he was like a police officer. I don't know. But he had indoor plumbing. He had an indoor toilet. Like, hello. I was excited, you know, as a kid. It's like, oh, this is cool. He was a nice man. I never had no issues with him that I knew of. You know, everything was cool. He had, I think he had 2 boys, or he had kids, or whatever case may be. Don't talk to them. Don't know what they look like. Don't even know their names. Like, at the time I did, but, you know, it's been quite some years, so I have no clue what their names even are. I've probably walked past them in the street and don't even know. But, anyway, so they got remarried that year. I met him that summer when we went back to Guyana, for the wedding. He seemed cool. I never really had an issue with him. Yeah, and then I just remember, like, we were there for the summer. We enjoyed our time, and then we came back home to America and hadn't been back to Guyana. So we were here, and my mom would go back and forth, but we wouldn't really come back. And I just remember, like, all of a sudden, it was like, my mother used to always take walks. She used to always like to take walks, so she used to always want us to go on walks with her and stuff like that. And I used to be like, oh, goodness. So, but we used to go on walks. She used to work at, like, nursing homes and, like, these little, like, pre-K schools and stuff like that. So I just remember at some point she was getting sick a lot. It was like she was always, like, coughing. She was getting sick. She started getting, like, her hair was, like, falling out a lot more. She had, like, really, really short hair. I have this one picture. Let me see if I can find it, actually. And I feel like this picture, it's, like, one of the last photos that I have with my mother. And the crazy thing is, we look hit. Like, we look so hit. It is bad. But it can show you, where's this photo? I hope I didn't delete it out of here. But it can show you just how, like, her hair was looking and how it was falling out and stuff. Dang, please don't tell me I deleted it. Oh, no, it's right here. But we both were making, like, the most ugliest faces. Do you see this? Yeah, but her hair had gotten really, really short and it was falling out. And she was just always really sick. And then she was getting, like, these scabs in her hair. Like, I don't know, she was getting all these sores in her hair and, like, scabs in her hair. And, like, I don't know, like, not that I wasn't thinking anything of it, because, of course, we were thinking stuff of it. But I was just like, what the heck is wrong with my mama? Like, what's going on? I didn't know. But, anyway, so, yeah, she was just really, really sick. And I don't even know, like, how long the process of her being sick was. I just remember her being sick. Or I guess when I noticed it, I feel like everything happened rapidly from the time that I noticed that, hey, something's, like, not right. But, we used to live in this, like, apartment. It's like a duplex, I mean, not duplex, like a fourplex kind of, like, apartment building or whatever in Jersey. And we had these long stairs in the backyard that went from the top. We lived on the 2nd floor, so it went from our top floor down to the bottom. It was these super long stairs. And I just remember it was, like, nighttime. It was dark. I don't know if it was super late. I don't know if it was just, like, just randomly at night. But I just remember, like, she was just really, really sick. Like, it got bad. And then my grandmother called the ambulance, because my grandmother, she didn't live at the house with us because she was, like, a stay-at-home nurse. So she lived with her patients. So it was, like, at the house was me, my mother, my aunt, and her 2 kids. My brothers were in and out, whatever they were doing. Yeah, they were older and just, like, you know, not really living at home. But yeah, so she called the ambulance. And I just remember I can see the lights from the ambulance. I can see the stairs. Like, I just know it was dark and I just know nighttime or whatever. And yeah, I just remember her being in the hospital for quite some time. And I'm like, she's been in here for a while. Like, what's going on? But, you know, I guess when you're young like that, at the time I was 13. So when you're young like that, it's like, because this was now 2001. So like I said, I think she got married in 99. I want to say summer of 99 is when she got married. I thought it was 2000, but I think it was 99. But anyway, this is fast forward to 2001. She was sick, like, for a while. Now we're in 2001. We're around, I want to say the May time frame. I want to say it's like May, because my little cousin was just born. So I feel like she went in the hospital right after he was born or right before he was born. One of the two happened. But she was in the hospital, I know, when he was, like, pretty much a newborn. And he was born in May, like mid towards the end of May. And she was in the hospital for over a month, I want to say, or about a month. A couple of weeks to a month she was in the hospital. So she was in there, and I would go visit after school. We'd go, my grandma would take us to go visit. She was just like in the hospital. She was just so sick. We'd be just like laugh, talk, all that good stuff. And then I remember when I went to my 8th grade prom, she was still in the hospital. But by the time I graduated, she had passed away. So I graduated like June 20 something. So she passed away on June 12th, 2001. I remember that day specifically because I remember I was in school. It's crazy. I was in school. I was sitting in my math class. I had my 8th grade math teacher. She had a weird name. I'm not going to say it, but she had a really weird name or whatever. I remember sitting in her class, and I don't know if I was doing work or if we were just talking and playing around. Who knows? But I was in school, and I remember there was a security guard. I won't say names for people or whatever, but I just remember the security guard. She was like a cool security guard. Like, everybody knew her. Everybody was cool with her, whatever. But I remember she came to the classroom to get me. I'm just like, and like, you know, usually she's like peppy and hype and like, hey, how y'all doing? Like, what's up, y'all? But she was just like, hey, I need to, you know, you just come to the office. I'm like, okay. So I was going to the office. It wasn't that far from my classroom to the office. It was just like, this is the classroom. You would walk down the hall, make a left, go past the front doors to the school, and then the office is right there. So I remember as we were walking, she's just like, I don't know if she said anything to me. I don't know. I think in my mind, I felt like something was wrong. Like, I knew it. But I was like, I don't remember if we were having a conversation or not. I just remember like I wasn't really, I don't know what I was thinking. But I know after we turned that corner, we made that left, I'm turning that corner. I remember as we were walking down the hallway, I seen my cousin Chanel. She was like standing in front of the office, and she was boo-hoo crying. She was crying. Her ass was in there. She was like boo-hoo crying like crazy, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like what's going on? And I feel like then it hit me. I'm like, oh fuck. It can only mean that somebody is gone. I don't remember if I knew for sure that it was my mama or if I just thought like, you know, damn, somebody's hurt or sick. But I think subconsciously, I think I knew that it was my mom. I think I knew for sure. And I just didn't want to like say it until somebody told me. But if you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking for something in my phone that I'm going to show you, or I'm going to talk to you guys about or show you guys at the end of this video. But yeah, so I just remember like, I was just like, wow, like, damn, that's it, like, you know. So I got to the office. I feel like I'm about to say her name. I feel like the security guard hugged me. I can't remember, but I feel like she hugged me. I don't know. But I remember I got to the office. My cousin was out there boo-hoo crying. I think my sister was already there, and I think she might have been crying too. But I vividly remember my cousin crying for sure, because she was loud. And then I remember my grandmother came and she came out the office, and she came and she hugged me, and she was just like, Jared, mommy's gone or whatever. And I don't remember if I cried or not. Like, I don't remember if I cried. I remember being in the car. I remember looking out the window as we were driving to the hospital. I remember asking about my brother, the one that's not my oldest brother, but the one, he was like 17 at the time. And I remember he wouldn't get in the car. I remember he was like walking, because like I was in middle school, but the high school was directly across the street. So I think they went to go across the street to tell them or to get them, and he just wouldn't get in the car. He was like, he gonna walk. He didn't get in the car. He like walked or whatever. So why can't I find what I'm looking for right now? Yeah, so we got to the hospital. I remember being on the elevator. I remember getting up to the room, and then just there she was, just laying there. And yeah, that's that. And I know you guys are probably like, girl, you ain't saying nothing about HIV or AIDS yet. That's because at all this point in my life, I still ain't know nothing about it yet. So anyway, my mom, she passed away June 12th, 2001. Yeah, so that was that. Fast forward a couple of years, that was June. So I graduated, I want to say like 2 weeks later from 8th grade. That summer, you know, people always like seeing like, how you care, how you doing or whatever. I remember like I went to the funeral, of course. I did not go to the burial site. I was like, I'm not going. I didn't go up to, you know, when everybody gets up to go do the last little pass around through the casket. Not doing that. I was like, that's not how I want to remember my mother. So I didn't do that. I didn't go to the burial ground. I didn't want to watch them put her in the ground. So me and my cousin Michael, my cousin Chanel, we all went to the hall where we were going to have the repast at. Somebody drove us, I don't know who, but somebody took us there. I told my girl, I was like, I'm not going. Like, I don't care if you think I'm disrespectful. Like, I ain't going. So I didn't go. And then, yeah. Why can't I figure out what I'm trying to do? Yeah, so then she's just like, all right, fine, whatever. So then I go to high school. I remember my freshman year. This is the first time, which was like two and a half months later is when I became a freshman pretty much. But sometime during that freshman year, I remember there was this girl who was like basically a family friend. Me and her grew up together. We were like really, really close friends. And then we ended up falling out earlier that year, or I guess that's calendar year, but like my 8th grade year, we fell out. We weren't friends anymore. Like, I forgot. I think it was something stupid. Something I said about a boy or something. I didn't want the boy. I don't know. I think I said something and she was in her feelings about it. She was older too. She was like 2 or 3 years older than me, but she was just in her feelings about some shit, and who cares? But anyway, we weren't friends no more. But she was a family friend. Our families all grew up together, but at some point, like, there was like this. They were all Guyanese people, but like, there was just like, we didn't fuck with them. Most of them, you know. At some point, it was like everybody just kind of started pulling away because we just didn't fuck with them. So I remember in 8th grade, I was in biology. I was in somebody's class, and then, like I said, I'm not gonna say names when it comes to like other people outside of my family, for the most part. But I was in class, and this girl, I'm trying to say people's names because I was getting ready to say it, but this girl, she was like, oh no, it was a boy. It was a boy that was, he was in my 8th grade class too, actually, when I found out. So I remember him asking me like, oh, how you doing? Like, he was always a class clown too, but he was just like, oh, how you doing or whatever. Everything good or whatever. And then I was like, yeah, I've been alright, you know, like, it's life, it's been hard, but you know, it's like, I'm making it. And then he was like, oh, do you mind if I ask like how it happened or whatever? And then I was like, I don't really know. I was like, I just know she was sick. It was some kind of virus or whatever. Like, she just was sick for a minute, and then, you know, she passed away. And then some girl, I should have punched her in the fucking mouth, actually. Now that I think about it, I literally should have just knocked her in her fucking teeth. But, because it's like, why would you even say that in front of other people in the meantime? But, I don't know. I was tight, but whatever. But some girl, she basically was just like, oh, I heard she passed away from AIDS. Bitch, what? Bitch, what? I was like, excuse me? And I was like, who the fuck told you that? Like, one, we're not friends. Like, we knew each other, we went to school together, but we're not friends. Why would you say some shit like that to me? Like, I should have really ran in her shit. Like, now that I'm thinking about that. Like, I feel like I want to fight her now. And it's been like 20 years. Nah. But, yeah, so I was just like, what? Like, excuse you? And she was like, yeah, such and such, who's the girl who was a family friend or whatever, told me that, you know, your mom passed away from AIDS or whatever. And I was like, who the fuck says some shit like that? Like, that is some disrespectful ass shit. So I was hot. I don't even know what happened after that as far as like the rest of that class or the rest of that conversation. I think I like blacked out, or I might have spazzed out. I don't know if I did, but that was just, I was just seeing red. So all I kept thinking was, you need to find this bitch. I can't remember if I left class or if I waited till after class was over. Either way, I just remember roaming the halls looking for her, and I was hot. And I remember seeing Yada, who was one of my cousin's best friends at the time. I don't know if they're still friends or not, who knows. But I remember seeing her as I was walking through the hallway, and she was just like, she funny. She one of them chicks that like, she fight. It's like, that's just, you know, she ready. She ready when you ready. But she was just like, what's wrong? Like, what's going on? So I was like, I'm hot, I'm pissed off. So I'm telling her like, what the fuck is she at? Like, I'm pissed. So she's like, oh fuck no, like, let's go. So we going. I think my cousin at some point came into the picture, who was her friend. And we just looking for her, whatever. And then eventually I seen her in front of the cafeteria. And thank God I didn't just go up and hit this girl. Because I probably would have got suspended. But then again, I really don't care. I probably should have. But who knows? Because I know, to this day, I know she said that shit. Because that girl, we weren't friends. She didn't really know me like that. So there's no way, you know. And then it was like later on rumors and stuff that her mother had been saying stuff too. So I'm like, y'all fucking families just assholes. Like, fuck out of here. Anyway. But, yeah, so she was standing in front of the cafeteria with some friends, and I just remember walking up to her, and I just was like going off, and I was just like, why the fuck would you say that? And what you say? And she's like, what are you talking about? I didn't say that. What about that? And I can't remember the whole conversation, but all I know is there was another security guard who was also like a family friend. He lived like in the neighborhood of my family and stuff, and he was like, y'all, like, nah, y'all family. This ain't my fucking family. He said, y'all can't do this. So he like took us all into a classroom. He was like, y'all gotta chill, like, you can't be doing this. And I was like, yo, why the fuck, like, why did you say it? She's like, I never said that. I swear I never said that. I'm like, well, what the fuck you get that from? I don't know. Well, she said, it was just like yelling. I was like tearing. I might have cried. I don't know, but I know I was tight. And he was just like, yo, you gotta calm down. That's your family. And that's not my fucking family, bruh. That's not my family. Like, what you not understanding? Like, we not family. We not kin. No. Yeah. So at the end of the day, like, we did not fight. Nothing happened there. We left it alone. But like, that shit like got me to thinking. I'm like, is that what it was? Like, why would, like, where would that come from? And I'm like, all they did say was she was sick. There was some type of bug or a virus or something. Like, is that the virus it was? Was it the HIV virus? Like, I don't know. But I remember like my aunt and them, I think they heard about the story about like me wanting to fight her, stuff like that. But I think they kind of just swept it under the rug. They didn't say anything. And then for the next couple of years I was in high school, it was like nothing. No one talked about it. Like, it was always like, kind of like, to me anyway, they probably talked about it to each other, but they never talked about it to me. And then I remember I was either a freshman or a sophomore in college, and it was like over the years people would ask me like, oh, you know, they would ask me family stuff, and then I'd be like, oh, my parents passed away, and they would ask me how. So, you know, my dad technically was like murdered. My mom, I mean, now when I look back at it, she technically was murdered too. But I was just like, you know, she passed away, she was sick, whatever. And they'd be like, oh, how? And I'm like, I don't really know. So it got to the point where I'm like, I got tired of saying I don't know. I'm like, I want to know, like, what the fuck was wrong with her? So I think it was my freshman year. It was either my freshman year or my sophomore year. But I remember calling my aunt, and I was like, Aunt Sherry, like, what's up, bro? what is the real deal? Tell me what's up. Like, what really going on? What the hell? No. Sorry. Yeah, I'm like, tell me, like, what's really going on or whatever. And she still told me without kind of telling me. So she kind of was just like beating around the bush, and she was like, you don't really know for sure, like, they do think it was like the HIV virus and da 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 da. So it was like she was sugarcoating it. So she kind of told me, but it was like on a softer note, like, you know, we think that's what it could have been. It was never like, this is what it was, like, that's the fuck it is. It was like sugarcoating. So then I was just like, wow. So, and the crazy thing is, the year after my mom passed, like, my stepfather came down to America for the funeral and everything, and like, we didn't have a close relationship, but I didn't hate the man. I didn't have no beef with him. So like, when he came down, like, we was cool. Like, he came to America, he came to the funeral, and it's like, my mom, like, my auntie, if all y'all knew that this nigga gave her fucking AIDS or HIV or whatever, why nobody said anything? Like, y'all was in his face, like, the fuck? I'm assuming maybe at that point they didn't know, but whatever. And then, because I guess it was like one of their cousins in Guyana, I guess, introduced him to my mom. So they was mad at her for a while. They was like, oh, supposedly she knew. And then there was something going along where apparently my mother knew. So I don't know if she knew all along or she knew after the fact, like, that maybe they started messing around and then she contracted it and then she knew and she decided to stay with him anyway. I don't know all the details, but at the end of the day, it's like, what the fuck? Like, what were you thinking? And like, I can't for the life of me think that my mom would have known this man has had HIV or AIDS and still decided to mess with him after the fact. Like, it would be more believable for me to believe that she didn't know, they messed around, she got it, or they messed around and then she found out and she was just like, well, fuck it, I already have it. Like, but either so, that's fucking shit is dumb if you just still marry him. So I don't know the timeline of when she found out or she knew or she didn't know. I don't know, but apparently my mom's cousin knew and she introduced them anyway and whatever. So my aunt and them, I think to this day they're still mad at her, but yeah. So anyway, so he came down for the funeral. I still, at that point when he came down, didn't know anything. He actually passed away the next year and I didn't know. But in my mind, I'm just like, fuck, I lost my dad, I lost my mom. I wasn't super close to him, but I lost my stepdad. I don't have no fucking parents. Like, I don't have shit. Hey y'all, so I know y'all probably like, what the hell just happened to the end of the video? But I was hearing stuff in my house and I'm like, yo, ain't nobody home. So what is all this noise I'm hearing? And pretty much it was just my sister's coming back from wherever the heck she was at. Anyway, so hold on. I'm just gonna go ahead and finish this video because I know it was super duper long. I don't even know where I ended off at, but yeah, to make the longest story ever shorter and just to end it out, yeah, I found out the first inkling of any idea that I had that my mom had HIV or AIDS or whatever the case, whichever one it was, because I still to this day do not know. And it's 2019, so it's been 18 years since my mom has passed away and I still don't know if she's had full-blown AIDS, if it was just HIV, I don't know. But it just sucked because over the years it's like I want to know, and all the time is I've always been getting a runaround a little, you know what I mean? I would get little answers here and there, but never a full story. So I don't think anybody really fully knows. So part of me is like, I wonder if, you know, I think it might be against like HIPAA laws or something, I don't know, but I wonder if I'm able to like call up the old hospital she worked at and be like, hey, I'm her daughter, you know, I'm trying to get my family history. I need to know if I have any, like, you know, history of, you know, any of this stuff in my family. Would they give it to me? Do y'all think they would? Like, let me know. Comment down below if they would like do that for me. It's been some years, so I don't know for sure. And my brother also had told me that, I guess when he was speaking to her while she was in the hospital, he was saying like how he would go and visit her and stuff, and how she said on top of the HIV, she also had cancer. And I'm just, you know, like, mind blown. I'm just like, what? He told me this a couple of years ago, and I'm just like, bro, what the, like, what? Yo, like, it was a lot going on. And I think, like, because my mom passed away so young, and like all my other brothers and sisters were out of the house. Like, I'm the last of 6 children from my mom and my dad. 2 of my sisters don't live in America. They're my dad's children. But my mom, pretty much, they called her Aunt Judy, which was weird because she's not their aunt, but you know, she's their stepmom or whatever. But they consider her their mom. They just called her Aunt Judy as a weird shit. But anyway, they never been to America. So my mother and my father had 4 kids together, and I'm the youngest out of all of us in general. But like, they were all out the house. My oldest brother at the time was 20. The 2 were not in America. My sister, that year my mom passed away, actually, she had, before my mom passed away, of course, like earlier, like the year before, or right, how can I explain this? It's weird because it's the same school year, but it's a different year, like, if that makes sense. But anyway, the year before, when she started high school, she had moved down the street to my aunt's house, so she'd be able to ride the bus and go to school with my cousins or whatever. It was never any issue. She just wanted to be around the kids that were older, you know, to be able to go to school with them. So she wasn't in the house with me. It was just my mom, my aunt, and her kids, and me. And you know, when she passed away, it was me, my aunt, and her kids. And at the end of the day, like, that's not my mom, so she's always gonna do more for her kids than she would do for me, you know. And anybody, like, would be the same way. No matter how many times they say they wouldn't do that, that's just the reality of any situation. Like, you're always gonna love your kids more than you love somebody else's kid, period. And you can tell me that's not true, but that's just what it is. But that's a story for a whole nother day. But yeah, so why would you, y'all just dumb. I'm sorry, this is why I can't be doing car videos, because these folks be trying to kill me out in these streets. But yeah, so yeah, so that was my HIV/AIDS story. Like, I realized over the years I've always told myself that I wanted to become active in the fight against HIV and AIDS, but I felt like because I didn't really know her story, like, how could I tell it? You know what I mean? I don't really know. Like, I still to this day don't really know what exactly she had. What exactly was the problem? Like, I don't know if she had full-blown AIDS. I don't know if it was just HIV. I don't know how long she had it. I don't know if she knew she contracted it. Like, and that sucks for me because there's so many questions I've had for her that I wish I can ask, and